As we move towards the business end of 2021, it feels like a great time to catch up on some of the great games from this year that you might have missed. And if you can do so with a big old discount, even better.
First off, we've got one of the first great games to hit 2021, it's Hitman 3. Now at 50% off, it brings the bold-headed assassin's latest trilogy to a close, and if I do say so myself, it does it in fairly spectacular style. One of the perks of Agent 47's job, aside from, the amount of time he gets to spend trying on clothes, is the incredible amount of travel that it entails. So whether you're looking down from the window of a towering skyscraper in Dubai or making your way through a pulsating German nightclub, each environment is stunningly detailed, especially in 4K or 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series X and S. And that attention to detail is really kind of important because most of your time in Hitman 3 will probably be spent looking for the little things you can exploit, be that an open window, a flirtatious bodyguard, a poorly constructed chandelier, anything that might make it just a wee bit easier for you to take out your target without getting caught. Although if, like me, you'd rather just throw a fire axe at them and make a dash for the door, the game will pretty much support that as well.
With the state of the world today, sometimes you just need to take a step back and appreciate all of the good things in life. Like, the fact that our planet isn't currently overrun with acid-spewing mutant dinosaurs. Yeah, that's something. But if you would like a taste of that experience, then Second Extinction is now 25% off to purchase, or it's available at no extra cost as part of Xbox Game Pass. This cooperative shooter charges you and two of your buddies with the task of reclaiming the Earth from the ravenous dino horde that's taken over. Simple enough. The game's massive world is a constantly shifting turf war between humanity and its scaly nemesis, with serious danger zones cropping up in different places all the time. Whether you head straight for the hottest of the hotspots or play it a little safer is up to you. The bigger the beast you take down though, the bigger the bounty you'll secure and the better the gear you'll be able to buy. But you'll also have to find a gigantic, possibly electrified dinosaur, so choose wisely.
But if you can't beat him, you might as well join him, so why not craft a deadly mutant critter of your own in Biomutant now that it's 33% off. The long-awaited action RPG takes place in a world that's part kung fu epic, part steampunk dystopia, and all kinds of awesome. After designing your very own biologically questionable warrior, you'll set out on an epic quest to bring balance to the land by whatever means necessary. So if those means happen to involve samurai swords, rocket launchers, and mechanical limbs, then so be it, I guess. Because you're going to customize your character right down to their actual genes, Biomutant gives you an incredible amount of freedom to create the sort of fighter that you want, whether they're a nifty little rodent swordsman or a staff-wielding behemoth. And the game itself has been given all sorts of little nips and tucks since its initial release, improving everything from the combat to the loot drops, so there's never been a better time to check it out.
The legendary edition of the Mass Effect trilogy was another one of 2021's most hyped up releases, simply because you really couldn't go wrong with it. Take 3 of the most acclaimed games of all time, totally rework the visuals with brand new textures, lighting effects, and other pretty things. Throw in a stunningly fluid 120 FPS option for Xbox Series X gamers, and you've got one heck of a package, even before you mention this week's 30% discount. Whether you're a newcomer to Commander Shepard's epic intergalactic quest or you're just hankering to spend some more time with your favourite crewmates, this is the definitive edition of a genre-defining space saga. With an incredible story, rich cast of characters, slick shooting mechanics, and some of the most devastatingly difficult moral choices we've ever seen, the whole Mass Effect experience really has to be played to be believed. Just promise us you'll be nice to Mordin, okay? He's such a wholesome dork.
One of the most show-stopping bits of gaming news this year was Sony Interactive Entertainment's MLB The Show moving up to the big leagues and making its debut on Xbox as a Day 1 Game Pass title. That was what we call in the industry a home run. From the in-depth stadium creator tools that allow you to craft your very own field of dreams to the incredibly realistic baseball you'll be playing on it, MLB The Show 21 is far and away the most immersive baseball experience you'll get without pulling on a catcher's mitt. That goes double for Xbox Series X and S players who get to enjoy every slide, swing, and fumble in up to 4K 60 frames per second. If you had previously written off baseball as nothing but rounders played in silly uniforms, this stunning sports sim might be enough to change your mind. And at 67% off, it's certainly worth taking a swing at. And while you're at it, why not hit the subscribe button right here, by the way, on Xbox On, so you don't miss out on any other amazing deals like this. Nice one.
While 2021 has seen plenty of great new games arriving, it's also seen a few that were already awesome getting even better, like when Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice got a shiny new next-gen upgrade. Playing as a picked warrior trying to rescue her lover from the depths of the underworld. Your quest sees you facing off against all kinds of terrifying supernatural foes, as well as Senua's own psychological demons. It makes for a dark and eerie experience where you're constantly catching things moving in the corner of the screen, wondering whether it was a trick of the light, a hallucination, or something much worse. And with the ray-traced lighting effects now available on Xbox Series X and S, you're sure to spend even more time jumping at shadows. You can grab Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice now for 50% off or on Xbox Game Pass, and then start looking forward to the fearsome-looking sequel.
Next up, we got a couple of games that are continuing to reinvent themselves in 2021, starting with Marvel Avengers, which already lets players smash their way through the forces of evil using Thor's mighty hammer and Cap's iconic shield. Now it's brought out the big guns with the free War on Wakanda expansion. The futuristic world, which blew our minds on the big screen, has been beautifully recreated in the game, giving you a vibrant metropolis to leap through, which looks especially lush, if we do say so ourselves, in native 4K on the Xbox Series X. Although you might want to watch where you're pouncing, since Claw and Crossbones have turned up with a bunch of henchmen and that "I'm going to steal all your vibranium" look in their eyes. And of course, the main event is getting to play as Black Panther himself, with all the deadly acrobatics, high-tech weaponry, and ancient god summoning you could expect. It just kind of sort of rules, if you get what I mean. You can buy the base game now for half price, giving you access to all of Earth's mightiest heroes.
Sea of Thieves is another game which just keeps getting bigger and better, and while it hasn't added any Wakandan royalty to its lineup yet, there's been more than a little of that Hollywood magic at play in Season 3, thanks to the arrival of a certain Jack Sparrow. As usual, he's brought a whole heap of trouble along with him, so get ready to lock blades with Davy Jones, square off against the scuttling menace of the ocean crawlers, and do whatever you can to resist that deathly siren song. And this is another title which looks absolutely incredible on the Xbox Series X and S, with 4K resolutions and 120 FPS, as well as reduced load times to produce the smoothest, swiftest sailing experience to be found anywhere upon the Seven Seas. With all that now 40% off and also available on Xbox Game Pass, you can see why so many people have decided it's a pirate's life for me.
Another awesome title that has just recently joined the Xbox Game Pass library, Raji, an ancient epic, is now half price if you fancy owning it outright. And really, why wouldn't you? This gorgeous third-person adventure draws on Hindu mythology to produce a wondrous tale of magic and mystery. Raji is an orphaned circus worker on the brink of losing the only family she has left when her brother is kidnapped by demons. That was the sort of thing that happened back then, I'm sure, and it really did make a mess of your whole week. Anyway, the only way for Raji to get him back is to embark on a perilous journey across the land in search of some divine, demon-slaying weapons, cue a series of gorgeous locales, a host of acrobatic platforming challenges, and a whole bunch of fantastical fight scenes. In short, everything a game rightfully needs to call itself epic.
Last up, we've got Crackdown 3, which is also 50% off and available on Xbox Game Pass. However, its story is certainly no fairy tale. The city of New Providence has been taken over by a terrorist syndicate known as Terra Nova, who have quickly gone about doing all the standard bad guy stuff, locking up civilians, polluting the water, and even causing a global blackout. They probably litter too, just really bad guys all round. Which is why Commander Jackson has been sent in to bring them all to justice. Each area of the city has its own Terra Nova crew running it, each of those crews has a leader, and each of those leaders has a face which you can punch, although the order you punch faces in is entirely up to you. The whole thing makes for a wonderfully comic booky sort of open world experience with tons of villains to bash, power-ups to grab, and so many shiny little orbs to collect. Thanks for watching this week's deals. Make sure you've subscribed and we'll see you next time. Bye!